The tropical jungle of Sri Lanka is a monkey's paradise. Home to a charismatic troop of toque macaques. But not everyone here is equal. Lowly Anna sits at the bottom of the social ladder. And with a newborn baby in tow, life is getting tougher. As drought grips the region, tensions boil over. There's mutiny in the ranks, and kidnappers are on the prowl. Anna is a devoted mother, but can she do enough to keep her son alive? A lush tropical forest rises from the central plains of Sri Lanka. Hidden amongst the trees, an ancient city lies in ruins. Once home to great kings, its rulers are now long gone. Their temples returned to the jungle. And there's a new king in residence. Korom, a large male toque macaque, reigns over his subjects. He's fought his way to the top and held his throne for 2 years. Toque macaques are endemic to Sri Lanka, found nowhere else on the planet. Here, amongst the ruins, they've adapted to make this place home. With 40 individuals, Korom's troop is large by toque macaque standards. It takes a good leader to keep everyone in line. Korom signals it's time for breakfast. The tropical forest is bountiful with fruits. Figs are one of their favorites. But Korom's caught a whiff of something even better. He's found the jackpot. Jackfruit are the world's largest fruit. They can weigh up to 80 pounds. When ripe, they fall to the ground, their sweet aroma drawing in fruit lovers like the macaques. A breakfast fit for a king. As the alpha male, Korom always gets first bite. He's at the top of a strict ranking system. Next to eat are Korom's henchmen. High-ranked males, these are his closest allies. They help to keep everyone in line. When the males have had their fill, it's time for the sisterhood. The alpha female and her closest relatives. Her status was inherited from her mother, a bloodline that's been in power for generations. Finally, the youngsters of the sisterhood get their turn. Everyone literally stuffs their faces. Stuffed cheek pouches almost double the size of the face. It's a clever way to gather food while the going's good. And take it away for later. While life at the top is fruitful, it's a very different story for those at the bottom. Anna is the troop's lowest ranked female. She's around 11 years old, has a distinctive red face, and has spent her whole life being last. Her lowly status is an unfortunate inheritance from her mother. There's no jackfruit breakfast for her. Instead, she forages for roots and grubs. She needs all the food she can find because she's heavily pregnant and due any day. It's been a tough 5 months, but she's doing the best she can. After breakfast, the troop spends the day socializing and grooming, never straying too far from their temple home. And as the light fades, Korom chooses a sleeping tree for the group. The highest ranked members get the best spots, high in the canopy, away from nighttime predators. Anna will spend the night alone on the lowest branch. But she's vulnerable here. Beneath her, leopards and other nocturnal creatures emerge to take over the forest. Indian flying foxes fill the skies. In a single night, these giant fruit bats will travel up to 40 miles in search of food. It's June, the middle of the dry season in central Sri Lanka. An 8-month period of little rain that follows the torrential monsoons. But this year, the monsoon rains never came. Waterholes that never fully replenished are now running dry. And while the trees are still green, the forest floor is turning brown. Once again, Korom leads the troop out for breakfast. This morning, there's one more mouth to feed. Anna has given birth to a son. He's only 6 hours old, and needs almost constant nursing. Born with dark fur, open eyes, and some coordination, he's already attempting his first steps. In these first few weeks of life, he'll spend 90% of his time trying to nurse and will be dependent on her milk for the next 6 months. Like all monkeys, he's born with the ability to grip and hold on tight. After a 5-month pregnancy, Anna now needs some time to rest and bond with her son. His future is far from certain. This is her 5th infant, but so far, only one has survived to adulthood. Anna's low rank means she's last to all the food. And if she doesn't eat, she can't feed her baby. Hopefully this time things will be different. During the hottest part of the day, temperatures hit 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Korom and his troop wait out the heat in the relative cool of the shade. They often cozy up together in groups. Some of the older females have very red faces, but this isn't because they're too hot. It's a sign of age. Sarah, a young female, has more of a subtle pink tinge to her complexion. She's heavily pregnant with her first baby and is one of the highest-ranked females in the troop. Sarah gets the best of everything, including her choice of tree. Unlike red-faced Anna, who must make do with a crumbling temple wall. Hardly the coolest spot in the forest. Her son is only a few days old, and so far they've been left to themselves. But a very important visitor is on the move. Korom. Adult males don't often get close to the infants. They have no role in their upbringing. But Korom is intrigued by the newest member of his troop. This helpless creature is actually his son. Korom is not a hands-on parent. He's not even sure he wants to touch him. Anna, like all toque macaque mothers, will raise the baby on her own. But the arrival of their infant means she at least gets some special time with Korom. A rarity for this low-ranking female. The intimate moment doesn't last long. Others also want to get close to Korom. Sarah's not about to miss out on social networking. During a good grooming session, friendships and alliances can be formed, and status reaffirmed. With first-time motherhood on the horizon, Sarah is curious about the newborns. And she's taken a liking to Anna's son. Sarah outranks everyone around her. It means she can do as she pleases, including kidnapping. Anna watches in shock as her son is carried away. Abducting another female's infant is not a typical toque macaque behavior. But pregnant Sarah appears to want to mother Anna's son. Anna doesn't quite know what to do. With her low ranking, she can't just take him back. And the kidnapper is not giving him up. The infant needs to suckle. In this heat, he could quickly become dehydrated. He tries to drink from Sarah, but she hasn't got any milk yet. Anna desperately needs to get him back. Troop tensions are also simmering on the ground, where Korom's keeping a close eye on one of his henchmen. Vidu, a large male with distinct black lips, is enjoying a bit too much attention from the sisterhood. He's got leadership aspirations of his own. If Korom's to maintain his throne, he needs to make sure Vidu doesn't gain too much support. Korom knows trouble's brewing, but he won't intervene for now. Two hours have passed, and Anna's son is still held captive. He's now desperately thirsty. Again, he tries to drink. For a moment, Sarah allows Anna to suckle him. But she's not handing him over. As the kidnapper climbs higher, Anna decides to take a huge risk. Casting status aside, she has to get her baby back. The scuffle pays off, and reunited, mother and infant make a hasty exit. Fruit makes up the bulk of a toque macaque's diet, and they eat around 1% of the fruit in the area. They share the forest with a diverse bunch of neighbors. Spotted deer, giant squirrels, and grey langurs. Korom always gets first choice of the fruit. But eating while balancing is hard work. Much easier to stuff his cheek pouches and head for a more comfortable seat. Here he can enjoy his takeaway meal at leisure. But eating this fruit takes a bit of skill. Each berry stripped and the pips spat out. He's the ultimate forest seed disperser. All in a day's work for the king. Nearby, a huge Ceylon oak tree is dropping ripe fruit. It's the last of the fruits until the next rains arrive. A ground buffet for the rest of the troop. With so much food on offer, even Anna is allowed to indulge. Her son is now 2 weeks old and is starting to explore. But these days, she's keeping a very close eye on him. She quickly stuffs her cheek pouches, never knowing when she'll be banished from the feast. But she needs more than food. During the dry season, the macaques don't get enough moisture from their diet. Normally, they rely on the local waterhole. But this year, it's already dry. The lack of last year's monsoon rains is taking its toll. If Korom's troop wants to drink, they'll have to think outside the box. One of the advantages of group living is passing down the tricks of the forest. Anna remembers a lesson from the past. Tree hollows hide precious stores of water. And unlike many other species in the forest, she can reach it. But it doesn't take long for the alpha female to notice. She pulls rank, pushing Anna out of the way as though she doesn't even exist. For Anna, it's best just to move on. Life in the forest isn't only about survival. The troop's territory includes a large rock outcrop. The perfect jungle playground. Playtime is an important part of a young macaque's education. The youngsters form similar-aged playgroups. Taking over the rock today are the 4-week-old preschoolers. At this age, play is all about testing the boundaries, with whatever comes to hand. It's also a time to improve their social skills and coordination. Anna's son is still a little young for this rowdy group. He's in the nursery section, with Anna keeping close. Learning to climb is one of the first lessons for a baby macaque. And he's perfectly built to be a tree dweller. His body fat percentage is almost 0. And as he grows up, it will only increase to around 3%. He'll stay lightweight and agile, able to one day reach the fruits on the end of the branch. Nearby, another youngster has just entered the world. Anna's son's kidnapper, Sarah, has finally given birth. It's her first ever baby, and it's also a male. Only 1 day old, his umbilical cord is still attached, but will drop off in the next few hours. He's been born into privilege. Having a high-ranked mum means his chance of survival is good. For Anna's son, the future is much more in doubt. It's early August, and the macaque's forest home is now drier than it's been for years. The monsoon isn't due for a few more months. Many of the trees are dying, and there's no more fruit. Korom leads his troop on a search for food. They forage as a group, using generations of knowledge to find hidden ants, seeds, and caterpillars. The higher ranked get first choice, but it's still slim pickings. Anna must wait her turn. A scrap of watermelon is a lucky find. She needs to be quick before anyone else can steal her prize. In her 11 years in the forest, Anna's never experienced a drought this bad. At 6 weeks old, her son is still almost totally reliant on her milk. And with no end to the drought in sight, her supply is at risk of drying up. More than 30% of infants don't make it through their first year. Being at the bottom of the pecking order makes his odds even worse. The drought is already taking its toll. It's the newborn of another low-ranked female. Anna's son could easily be next. The other animals in the forest are also suffering. The nearby grey langur family struggles to find enough food and water. The flying foxes usually spend their days sleeping. But as temperatures hit 100 degrees, they must constantly flap their large wings to keep cool. A mother desperately fans her baby. In these times of drought, outsider macaques are not welcome. Korom keeps watch over the troops' territory. There's barely enough food for his own group. He spots an intruder, one of the neighboring macaques. His show of strength sends a message to back off. But it's not just outsiders he needs to worry about. He's got problems closer to home. Vidu, the scheming henchman with the black lips, is making trouble. And tensions within the troop are reaching boiling point. In the macaque world, just the way you look at someone can trigger a battle. And Vidu's got Korom's attention. His direct stare is a blatant challenge. Starting a fight has huge risks. Both males have inch-long canines that can cause serious damage. An injury can last a lifetime. Korom summons his allies. He needs backup before he makes his move. It's time to put this usurper in his place. It's fight time. Anna and the other mothers gather up their infants. Everything's at stake. If Vidu wins, he could kill the newborns. A way to make his bloodline dominant. Korom and his allies have Vidu cornered at the end of a branch. His years of building alliances all come down to moments like this. A quick glance over his shoulder confirms their loyalty. Vidu can't hold out. He retreats. Now he'll be banished from the troop. Korom is the clear leader once more. But he needs to regroup his scattered subjects and settle nerves. It's a good time to groom and reaffirm their troop bonds. In the calm after the storm, an unlikely friendship develops between Anna and Sarah. Their sons, born only 2 weeks apart, are starting to bond. The start of an alliance that could last a lifetime. Right now, they're affected by their mother's wildly different status. But as adults, Males make their own way. Either of these two could one day be a king. But first, they'll have to survive the drought. The last few years, the weather has been unpredictable. It's still a few months before the monsoon season is due. But early storm clouds are building. An out-of-season storm rolls in over Korom's temple home, bringing an unexpected but very welcome deluge. The troop take cover in the forest around their temple home. The flying foxes aren't so lucky. Their home is high and exposed. Sharp-clawed toes lock into place, but it's still a bumpy ride. The storm delivers more than 2 inches of rain in a matter of hours, flooding the ancient ruins. After a stormy night, Korom's troop wakes to a whole new world. The rains have delivered a rare breakfast treat. A flying buffet emerges. Triggered by the rain, hundreds of termites break through the moist soil and take to the air. A protein-packed treat, if you can catch it. But not everything that emerges with the rain is safe to eat. Leaf litter hides a venomous surprise. A giant forest scorpion. The largest scorpion species in the world. It can grow to over 9 inches long. Its sting packs a nasty punch. Not lethal to adults, but for a baby, it could mean serious trouble. Sarah spots it just in time. But she's curious. Even with baby on board, she can't resist taking a closer look. Macaques are intrigued by anything new. And it's not just Sarah who wants to touch. Finally, a nip on the hand puts an end to this dangerous game. Anna is keeping her son well out of harm's way. He's had a tough start to life, and she's not about to take any risks. But she can't stay up here all day. The troop is on the move. After months of drought, the waterhole has come back to life. A water lover's paradise for frogs, kingfishers, and toque macaques. It's time to finally cool off. And wash away months of dust. Anna brings her son to the shallows. It's his first ever look and taste of water. And she throws him straight in at the deep end. First-time mother Sarah is a little more wary with her son. But the alpha female isn't holding back. She's a skillful swimmer, even with a baby on board. Infant macaques can instinctively hold their breath, just like a human baby. For the rest of the troop, swim time soon becomes playtime. For the youngsters, this is another chance to gain new skills. Toque macaques are not natural-born swimmers. They need to learn and practice. Even Korom and his henchmen join in. A rare moment for the males to let down their guard and play. After such heavy rains, The waterhole is unlikely to dry out again before the monsoon arrives. The danger from drought is over. Another month rolls past, and the early rains keep coming. It's now mid-September, and the ancient ruins are once again a shade of green. Fruit trees are flourishing, and figs are back on the menu. It's a welcome banquet after months of waiting. Nearby, Korom surveys his kingdom. It's been a very challenging 3 months. He's dealt with drought, rumblings in the ranks, and the death of a newborn. But most of this season's babies have survived, including Anna's son. He's now 12 weeks old and getting more independent every day. While Anna feeds, he gets on with playtime. He's graduated into the preschool group and is even beginning to show some leadership qualities. Against the odds, Anna has kept her son alive through the first crucial weeks of his life. She will always be at the bottom of the troop. But her son now has a chance to achieve his own status. She could even one day be the mother of a king. For Ravi and his teenage gang, life is full of fun and adventure. But their days at home are numbered. Young males aren't allowed to stay with their troop forever. Forced out, Ravi must embark on the journey of a lifetime. He'll make new friends, experience life in the big city, and encounter monsters. But what will it take for him to find a new place to call home? This ancient temple is one of the most sacred sites in Sri Lanka, and it's home to a large troop of toque macaque monkeys who enjoy a comfortable lifestyle. But for the teenage males of the troop, their home is more than just a place to lounge around. These daredevils are out to have fun, no matter what the risk. And the reward for all this bravado? Breakfast with a view. 100 feet below, the rest of their troop is having a far more relaxed start to their day. This is the king troop, a group of over 40 toque macaques that have lived among the ancient ruins for hundreds of years. Their current king is Korom. At 2 feet tall, he's a large adult male, but only by toque macaque standards. They're the smallest macaque species in the world. But what they lack in size, they make up for with their unique personalities and fetching hairstyles. No two monkeys look the same. There's battle-scarred Grandad, age 35, soaking up retirement. 10 mothers with babies in tow. A handful of large adult males. And of course, the rowdy bunch of teenagers. Ravi is the eldest teenage male in the troop. He's 6 years old, sports one of the best hairstyles around, and enjoys a carefree life with the other adolescents. And his closest friend is Danu. Danu's only about a month younger than Ravi, and they've been best friends since they were babies. They've both made it through the vulnerable infant years, when up to 1/3 of toque macaques die. And they've spent their whole lives living in this idyllic temple paradise. But now that they're almost adults, their days here are numbered. Whilst the females get to stay with their birth troop for life, males have to leave. Nature's way of preventing inbreeding. Ravi and Danu are feeling the push to leave home, especially around meal times. There's a strict dominance hierarchy within the group, and the teenage males are at the very bottom. They have to wait for everyone else to get their fill. Even Ravi's own mother, Jamusa, won't share with him. Jamusa is the alpha female of the troop, and she rules over the other females with an iron fist. Her torn ear is a legacy of a fight that she won while defending her crown. As the son of the queen, Ravi used to enjoy a privileged childhood. But now that he's nearly an adult male, those days of favoured status are long gone. And Mum's got a new baby to look after. Ravi's little brother is just 8 weeks old, and right now, she's keeping him close. But as he gets older, he'll gradually become more independent and join in with the other youngsters. Play is a crucial part of a young toque macaque's development. It's how they improve coordination, test their boundaries, and hone their social skills. But Ravi is perhaps a little old to be hanging out with the kids. He runs rings around this unfortunate youngster. Toque macaques have an unusually long tail. It's great for balance, but not so useful in someone else's hands. The way the juveniles interact with each other changes with age. For the younger kids, it's mostly just rough and tumble. But for Ravi and Danu, as the oldest teenage males, play is getting more serious. This is fight school. And it's one of the final skills they need to master before they leave home. After a day of temple adventure, Ravi and Danu regroup with the rest of the king troop. It's bedtime, and it's best not to sleep alone. With darkness comes danger. Creatures of the night emerge to take over the forest. A leopard could make an easy meal of a solitary macaque. Together, high in the trees, is the best place to be. Mornings are a busy time for Ravi's family. Filling their hungry tummies is the #1 priority. They're a resourceful group and search their territory for whatever they can lay their hands on. Fruit is their preferred food. But today, grass is on the menu. These fresh shoots are too good to ignore and can be an excellent fiber boost. But the king troop aren't the only ones grazing this morning. An Indian star tortoise joins the party. Unlike the macaques, grass is one of its favorite foods. And the tortoise is not about to let a bunch of monkeys put it off. But some of the brat pack have never seen a walking rock before. At this age, they're fascinated by anything new. The youngest ones proceed with caution. But one of Ravi's older friends wants to play. While the tortoise isn't so keen on him, he's determined to bring it out of its shell. Maybe a kiss will win it over. But the tortoise really isn't interested. This species lives a solitary lifestyle and doesn't need any friends. Perhaps it's best to just let this ancient relic continue on its way. The king troop's territory covers just over half a square mile. It's a large area for these pint-sized primates, but they need every bit of it. There are a lot of mouths to feed, and food will soon become scarce around here. It's June, the middle of the dry season. The forest is starting to dry out, and the last of the fruits are ripening. The temperature is on the rise, and during the hottest part of the day, it often hits 95 degrees. Ravi's family tries to keep cool. Jamusa, his mother, takes her usual afternoon siesta with the other high-ranking females. These are her closest relatives, and one of her daughters will one day inherit her crown. Their bond lasts a lifetime. But for the males, it's a very different story. Jamusa's young son will only enjoy the benefits of being high-born for around the first 2 years of his life. Then he'll be totally independent from Mum, and will eventually follow in his older brother's footsteps. Ravi is now on the cusp of adulthood, and his drive to mate is getting stronger. But he'll have to find a new troop to have any hope of passing on his genes. Leaving home is a daunting prospect. This is where Ravi grew up, and there are huge advantages to staying in familiar territory. Like knowing where to grab a drink when he gets thirsty. This large waterhole is one of the king troop's most important resources. Even during the dry season, they can usually quench their thirst here and grab a quick snack. Grubs and insects are a tasty addition to their usual fruit-filled diet. This oasis is also a favorite for many of the other forest residents, and the macaques are happy to share with these harmless neighbors. Few stick around for long. A quick drink and it's back into the forest. The king troop is also homeward bound, except for a few stragglers. Ravi and his gang are starting to spend more time away from the main troop. Swimming is great fun, and the ideal way to cool off. The waterhole quickly becomes the venue for a teenage pool party. With all this fun going on, no one notices a dangerous gatecrasher. A female golden jackal. This wildlife hub is the perfect stalking ground. And mongoose is one of her favorite prey. She needs to get closer. An untimely splash startles the mongoose. But the jackal's hunt isn't over yet. She can take down much bigger prey. Small deer are often on the menu. And an unwary teenage macaque could also be an easy meal. Without the eyes of the whole troop around, Ravi and his pals are more vulnerable than usual. And Danu, Ravi's best friend, is on his own. He unknowingly becomes the target of a killer. Padded paws help to mask her footsteps. But toque macaques have excellent hearing. The rustle of leaves catches the teenager's attention. They spot her just in time. It's a lucky escape for Danu. Over the next month, the drought intensifies. There's no fresh fruit or fresh grass anymore, and in these desperate times, the troop has to grab whatever's on offer. There's not really enough to go around. And the first to go hungry are those that shouldn't be here anymore. Ravi and the other teenagers have been pushed to the very edge of the troop, where there's little food to be found. And even when one of Ravi's friends does make a lucky find, he's not allowed to keep it for long. Korom, the alpha male, is making sure his henchmen and the females get first choice of all the food. It's a strong message that the teenagers are no longer welcome here. It's crucial at this stage that they stick together. A lone monkey has very little hope of survival. So when they do leave home, they're better off in a group. Korom's only a king because his friends helped him take over this troop. And he keeps his allies close. But life at the top isn't all smooth sailing. As the alpha male, he has to keep everyone in line. There's a steady stream of newcomer males from the outside. Korom needs to judge how to deal with each of them. Most are young and harmless, hoping to just join his troop. But others are troublemakers and want to fight. This large male has arrived with an aggressive attitude. And he's attacking members of Korom's troop. Korom must step in and restore peace before things get out of hand. The outsider rises to the challenge. But Korom holds his ground. And it's enough to send this aggressive troublemaker on his way. But Korom's intervention is a little late for two members of his troop. This low-ranked female was in the firing line. And so was Ravi. His right hand has been badly bitten. He was an innocent target of the outsider's aggression. The large wound is making it difficult to walk. The rest of his friends are in their typical boisterous mood. But Ravi's too sore to join in. There's more at stake than just missing out on fun and games. An injury like this can ruin a young monkey's life. He might never regain full use of his hand. And no one wants to be friends with a monkey who can't keep up. Two weeks pass, and the drought drags on. It's now early August, and this is one of the worst dry spells the area has seen for years. It's baking hot, and the mercury hits 100 degrees. There's hardly been any rain for months, and the king troops' oasis is now just a dusty dirt bowl. The troop has to use all its knowledge about the forest just to survive. These tree hollows hide precious stores of rainwater that only the macaques can reach. Korom uses his long arm and hand to scoop up the water and enjoy a much-needed drink. This is life-saving knowledge that the troop passes down through the generations. But not everyone is paying attention. The teenagers have already learned this trick, and instead are up to their usual rowdy games. These ancient walls and pillars are the remnants of old monks' cells. But this is no longer a place of peace and meditation. The teenagers are using it as a wrestling ring. And this time, Ravi joins in. He's back on his feet and keen to rumble. A game of tussle with Danu, his best friend, reaffirms their close bond. Ravi's back in the gang. His hand is still healing, but keeping the wound clean has stopped any infection. He's been very lucky not to sustain a lifelong injury, but now it's crunch time. While Ravi's been recovering, the teenage gang has been spending more time away from the rest of the troop. And they're ready to take the next step and head further afield. Ravi's hand has recovered just in time. It's finally time for the teenage males of the king troop to leave home. The teenagers are on a mission to find a new troop to join, with the ultimate aim of earning a high rank and maybe even becoming a king. They travel for over half a mile, the furthest they've ever ventured before. It's a long way for little legs, and a cool drink is just what they need. But there's something not right about this place. The drought and baking hot sun has almost totally dried this pool out. Left behind are hundreds of dying fish. With so little water, they're starved of oxygen and left to drown. And monsters have moved in. The teenagers have never seen anything like this before. The Asian water monitor is the second largest lizard in the world. It's a finely tuned killing machine. These 3 lizards are over 6 feet long and weigh around 30 pounds. They're the stuff of teenage nightmares. The monitors will eat just about any animal they can get their jaws on. The teenagers want to drink, but they get the sense that getting too close could end in disaster. Ravi and his friends have no choice but to go thirsty and move on. From here, they could easily return home. But the urge to find a new troop and have a chance of breeding drives them on. The teenagers travel for another week, exploring the land a few miles beyond their temple home. Leaving their birth troop is one of the most perilous times in a young male macaque's life. Without the rest of the troop, they're far more vulnerable to predation. And out here, they're not sure where to find food and water. But they need to keep going. This morning, things are looking up. The teenagers have stumbled across a very different pile of bricks than the temple they're used to. But it does have some familiar-looking residents. This is the roof troop, a large group of toque macaques that have combined forest life with urban living. Ravi watches from a distance. Their youngsters have swapped trees for metal scaffolding and have their own version of boisterous play. It looks like it could be a fun group to join. But they watch from the sidelines. They can't just rush in and introduce themselves. Ravi's going to have to play it cool and use all his charm to win them over. It won't be easy. The adult males won't welcome these newcomers. They could be future rivals. The females aren't looking too friendly either. New males can be a threat to their babies. But an outsider can also be a good thing. Ravi or Danu could rise to be king here. And new strong genes would benefit these females' future offspring. It's a complex social situation, and one that Ravi's not very experienced at. For now, the teenager's plan is to tag along for breakfast, at a distance. One of the advantages of joining a troop is learning where they find their food and water. But the roof troop lives life on the edge, and they have the battle scars to prove it. These more urban monkeys are not content with just the usual fruits of the forest. They cross into the human world. Just a quarter of a mile from their home, the roof troop has worked out how to make the most of opportunity at the local market. It's early morning, and the market's not yet open for business. But the roof troop knows there are still plenty of things on offer. Fridges contain sweet delights. It's just a matter of getting one open. Ravi's got no idea how to be a shoplifter. Instead, he's found the most comfortable seat in the house. The ideal place to watch and learn. Getting these fridges open will require brains as well as brawn. And not everyone's up for the challenge. Some of the roof troop youngsters join Ravi. Playing and bonding with these kids is a great way for Ravi to win over the troop. And if someone can get a fridge open, there'll be drinks all round. With new friends showing him the ropes, Ravi's really got the hang of roof troop life. But the break-in isn't going so well. Even the most determined monkey can't quite work it out. And while some of the youngsters yearn after what could have been, the rest of the roof troop heads off in search of another way to quench their thirst. Barrels of water left out for livestock are a lucky find. Their version of a forest oasis. Just like the king troop, water is the most important resource for the roof troop. During the dry season, they can't get enough moisture from their food. The youngest members of the troop are especially vulnerable to dehydration. An easy water supply like this can be the difference between life and death. Ravi watches on from the sidelines. He doesn't dare go near the barrels until the high-ranked members of the troop have had their fill. Finally, he takes his chance. And no one tells him off. Life's going well for Ravi. He's got full use of his hand again, and in just a day, he's adapted to this new troop's lifestyle. The rest of the travelling teenagers follow his lead. But after the last waterhole experience, where monsters lurked, they're playing it very safe. Danu, Ravi's best friend, is not getting his face anywhere near the surface. Instead, he uses his hand as a cup, a trick he remembers from back home. But the roof troop monkeys aren't afraid to get their heads wet. They love to swim. Even if it's just a bath-sized pool, they'll make the most of it. It's a way to cool off, wash the dust from their fur, and have fun. The roof troop kids soon turned this into a rowdy bath time session. At last, Ravi and the other teenagers join in. They're all starting to bond. Ravi's even up to his old tricks. In the space of just a few hours, Ravi and his gang have started to make friends. And this troop is beginning to feel like home. But the roof troop is on the move again. Hungry tummies drive them deeper into the human world. The roof troop monkeys are street smart and traffic savvy. But Ravi and his friends aren't so sure. The roof troop crosses the road with ease, leaving the newcomers sitting on the fence. These city slickers seem to know exactly how to dodge and weave. Toque macaques are thought to be some of the smartest animals in the world. And these individuals have worked out that timing is everything. Nearly everyone else is safely across and moving on. If Ravi and his crew don't cross soon, they'll lose them. But these fast-moving, noisy machines are more confusing and intimidating than anything Ravi's ever encountered. Without the guidance of the road-savvy troop, he can't quite work it out. The last of the roof troop disappears into the woods. Ravi and his friends have been left behind. Without their new troop leading the way, they have no choice but to head back the way they came. Here in the jungle is where Ravi and his crew are most at home. They know how to survive around here. The forest is their version of a fridge. And Ravi's found a familiar food source. These hanging pods are the fruit of the golden rain tree. The bright yellow flowers and long pods are hard to miss. But at around 2 feet long, they're not the easiest things to handle. Breaking open the tough exterior is hard work. Inside are hundreds of seeds. But these aren't very tasty. It's what lives amongst the seeds that Ravi's after. Grubs are a juicy, protein-packed meal. Just what these road-weary travellers need. It's been a week and a half since Ravi and the other teenagers left home on their journey to find a new troop. They've backtracked close to the temple, but there's no point returning home. There's no future for them there. They must continue their search. Over the next 2 weeks, Ravi and his friends explore deeper into the forest, journeying a further 2 miles. Then, one misty morning, they awaken to the sounds of other monkeys. Ravi climbs to a lookout point to investigate. In the distance, he spots a couple of large adult males, surveying their territory. They could be part of a bigger group. So Ravi moves closer to check them out. He's in luck. Below him, a small troop of macaques is foraging. Ravi is captivated. Unlike the roof troop, this group has a familiar feel about it. They're foraging and playing, just like his troop back home. And these females look a little more accepting than the last ones. This could be the new home Ravi and his friends have been searching for. The only way to find out is to get closer and see if they can join them for breakfast. Ravi approaches with caution. No one in the troop seems that bothered. This is the best welcome he can hope for. For the next few months, Ravi and his friends will gradually charm their way into this troop. Hopefully, it's just a matter of time until they get to call this place home. Here, in primate paradise, life for the Tufts troop is idyllic. Alpha male Pamu is the proud father of a gaggle of happy babies, including little Pip, his latest son. But trouble is brewing. A crippling drought makes food hard to find. And murderous invaders challenge Pamu's crown. If Pamu's overthrown, Pip and all the other infants will be killed. Does their leader have what it takes to get the Tufts through the most dangerous time of their lives? In the central forests of Sri Lanka, an ancient city lies in ruins. Its crumbling walls now the home for a diverse bunch of residents. One family has made themselves very comfortable here. This is the Tufts troop. A small group of around 20 tufted grey langurs. They're a relaxed bunch, spending almost half their time doing absolutely nothing. Ancient walls are the perfect lounge. It's an idyllic life, especially for their leader, Pamu. He's 8 years old, in the prime of life, and is the only adult male in this troop. Pamu's been king for about a year. He oversees a harem of 9 adult females and holds the rights to sire all the offspring. Pamu's had a very busy year. The Tufts are celebrating a baby boom. Playful toddlers and tiny newborns have transformed the ancient city into a busy nursery. But Pamu's not much of a hands-on father. His job is done. Females do all the work, and first-time mum Nisha is getting the hang of motherhood. Her little boy Pip is just 5 weeks old. He's a tiny, milk-guzzling version of his dad, who has so far pretty much ignored him. Pamu has other things to worry about. Defending the troop and keeping an eye out for danger. Unbeknownst to him, trouble is brewing. Four miles away, 3 young bachelors from a neighboring family have recently been forced out of their birth group. Driven by the urge to mate, they must set out to find a new troop of unrelated females and try to claim it. The Tufts, with only Pamu in charge, would be the perfect candidate. And with 3 males to 1, the odds would be very much in their favor. They head north, in the direction of the ancient city. The Tufts have no idea danger is on the way. The family is busy getting on with breakfast. Leaves are their meal of choice. First-time mum Nisha shows little Pip how it's done. He's just begun to experiment with solids. When he's around 8 months old, he'll be weaned and plant matter will be his main food source. Nisha prefers fresh young shoots. But like the rest of the Tufts, she's not that fussy. Just about any leaf within reach will do. Their large pot-bellied tummies have special gut bacteria to help brew and process all kinds of plant fibre. Surrounded by hundreds of edible plant species, Pip and Nisha are spoilt for choice. But leaves aren't exactly the most high-energy meal. They take time to digest and extract what little nutrition's on offer. Best to relax and let the tummies do their work. The Tufts, like most grey langurs, spend around 80% of their time on the ground. With very few predators around, they feel safe enough down here. And they're not the only ones. This is the King Troop, a large group of 40 toque macaques that share part of the Tufts territory. These unusual-looking monkeys are only found in Sri Lanka. No two macaques look the same. Each has a different hairstyle, some more striking than others. They're also the smallest macaque species in the world. Even the largest male is only 2 feet tall. But what they lack in size, they make up for with their boisterous personalities. Mealtime is a loud, rowdy affair. The relaxed Tufts keep well out of their way. Tropical jackfruit is one of the macaques' favourite foods. A strict hierarchy system sorts out who gets to eat first. Just like Pamu, the alpha male of this troop gets special privileges. The lowly must wait their turn. Fresh fruit is the macaque's main food source. They don't have the stomach for leaves like the Tufts do. Even when they've had their fill, a meal like this is too good to just leave behind. Expandable cheek pouches solve this problem. Filled to capacity, they're a convenient way to carry a snack for later. By late afternoon, the Tufts rouse themselves for another low-energy leafy meal. But the teenage males seem intent on playing with their food. Playtime is an essential part of these youngsters' development. It's a way to improve agility, make friends, and practice wrestling skills. Fight training is essential for these young males. When they grow up, they'll be pushed out of home and have to survive away from the troop. Nisha keeps little Pip well away from his older siblings. He's definitely not big enough to join Fight Club just yet. Five-week-old Pip is still a mummy's boy. After the evening meal, Pamu leads the troop up into the treetops. While they spend all day on the ground, at night, it's best to retreat to safety. A leopard emerges on the hunt. High up in the treetops is the safest place to sleep. As king, Pamu gets the best bunk, right at the top. Nisha, with Pip carefully tucked up in her arms, settles into a branch just below. Morning, and the Tufts are just waking up. They barely need to get out of bed to grab breakfast. Juicy, fresh leaves flourish right at their fingertips. Mid-May is a lush time in the forest. Fresh growth thrives everywhere, sustained by the monsoon rains a few months ago. Tropical fruits are in abundance, and fruit-loving locals make the most of the hanging buffets. Some, like the green pigeon, swallow berries whole, while this grizzled squirrel prefers to take its time and chew. With so much fruit around, the Tufts are inspired to branch out from their usual leafy meal. Fruit makes up around 20% of their diet, and a delicious-looking cluster fig tree has caught their eye. Nisha, with Pip in tow, joins the feast. Most of the figs aren't ripe yet, but she knows exactly how to select the juiciest ones. Like most primates, Nisha has excellent colour vision. And red means ripe. Even the younger members of the troop learn how to be picky. Figs are a special treat. These sugar-loaded delights are packed with nutrients they can't get from leaves. And they give the tuft more energy than usual. With so much varied food on offer, the Tufts territory is prime langur real estate. Such luxury can attract trouble. The trio of bachelors is still on course for the ancient city. They're traveling slowly, but day by day, they're getting closer. It's the beginning of June, the middle of the dry season in this region of Sri Lanka. And the temperature is on the rise. In the hottest part of the day, the mercury will often hit 90 degrees. Mornings are a lot cooler. So it's the busiest time of the day. Herds of spotted deer graze on fresh grass. A giant grizzled squirrel takes a leaf out of the Tufts book. And a pair of nesting barbets cautiously emerge. Careful not to give away their secret home. Woodpeckers are far more brazen. Their loud, indiscreet drumming is a message to other birds. This is their territory. Other locals prefer to keep a low profile. Blending in is the best way for this small lizard to stay safe against attacks from above. A large family of hornbills is on the search for breakfast. They often eat fruit, but a lizard would be quite a treat. If they can find one. The tufts have already had their fill of morning leaves and are getting on with what they do best. Lounging about. But their slumber party is about to be gate-crashed. The king troop is on the lookout for somewhere comfortable to hang out. And the tufts have the perfect wall. The macaques don't care that most of the seats are already taken, or that Pamu is at least double their size. The king troop just want to get on with one of their favourite activities: grooming. This is the macaque way to bond and reaffirm status. They spend around 3 hours a day preening. And when they've done their own hair, they look for someone else to groom. The tuft's luxurious long fur is irresistible. The pushy macaques don't stop to ask. Even Pamu doesn't protest. There's worse ways to spend an afternoon. What the macaques get out of the deal is not so clear. It could be a way to glean good bacteria from the langur's fur. Or a method for these diminutive primates to keep their large neighbours in line. Yielding to the smaller macaques could be seen as a sign of submission. Whatever the motivation for this pampering, the relationship seems to work. Despite sharing the same territory, the two troops rarely have any disagreements. There's even sufficient space here for a third monkey in the mix. Above them, a family of purple-faced leaf monkeys moves through the forest canopy with ease. Endangered and also endemic to Sri Lanka, this species has evolved to spend almost its entire life in the treetops. Their long, flexible limbs help them to make perfectly timed jumps. These canopy dwellers avoid coming down to the ground at all costs. Up here, they get everything they need. Just like the tufts, they mostly eat leaves and other plant matter. When the troop needs to rest, tree branches are their version of the tufts' lounging wall. But the abundance that sustains these three types of monkey is coming to an end. June rolls into July, and the forest around the ancient city begins to turn brown. The dry season is setting in, and it can last until at least October. It's a long time without rain, especially when most of the tropical trees only blossom after a deluge. For Nisha and the other tufts, fruit is getting harder to find. Pip's now 10 weeks old and is working more leaves into his milky diet. But a dry one like this has almost no nutritional value. Pamu is under pressure to find food for his family. Nisha, Pip, and the rest of the troop are relying on his leadership. Today, he's served them well. This huge banyan fig tree stands on the edge of the Tufts territory. Pamu's timed their arrival perfectly. The last of the fruits are ripe. But the king troop macaques are already here and stuffing their faces. Pamu stops his troop from rushing in. The macaques are only half their size, but they can be very aggressive. And a wall of guards is on duty. These males have already had their fill. Now they're making sure the rest of their troop does too. Toque macaques can't survive on leaves like the langurs. So when it comes to fruit, these dominant neighbors insist on always having first pick. Past scuffles have taught Pamu it's best to just wait patiently and hope for leftovers. It's a long wait, but sitting around doing nothing is the tough speciality. Finally, the last macaque has filled her cheek pouches. The guards stand down, and the path is clear. With a surprising burst of energy, Pamu springs into action. long limbs and perfectly timed leaps make scaling over 20 feet a breeze. When they need to be, the Tufts can be very fast and agile. The macaques have barely made a dent on the smorgasbord. There's figs aplenty. But not everyone is finding it so easy to get up here. Little Pip is still learning to climb. Strategically left behind by Mum, Nisha. It's time for a little lesson in climbing and problem solving. Almost, but not quite. Nisha watches on, enjoying some time out from motherhood. But Pip's determined to join her. When an unusual solution presents itself, he grabs on with both hands. Pip's so light that his auntie doesn't mind being used as a rope. Nisha's toddler-free meal is about to end. After a fruitful morning, the Tufts relax back on their favourite crumbling wall. Pip's in the mood for playtime. But Nisha's not much fun. A half-brother, around the same age, is the perfect playmate. They're both still learning coordination and mastering their long limbs. As usual, Dad, Pamu, is on the lookout. And he's spotted a very serious threat. The 3 bachelors are in his territory. Pamu gives a warning stare. This is his troop. Other males are not welcome. Especially ones with murderous intentions. If the bachelors attack and overthrow Pamu, they'll kill all his babies. Infanticide clears the path for one of them to be the new alpha and father his own young. But Pamu is bigger, older, and a more skilled fighter. The bachelors heed his warning and leave. Little Pip is safe for now. August arrives, bringing searing temperatures. This year's monsoon rains were far below average, and the region is plunged into one of the worst droughts in years. High in the treetops, the purple-faced monkeys struggle to get enough moisture from the parched leaves. Food is also in short supply for the fruit-loving king troop. And the first to suffer is a newborn. Infants are extremely susceptible to dehydration. The Tufts' newest troop member is just a week old. He's been born at the toughest time of year and could easily suffer the same fate as the baby macaque. Nisha and Pip wait for Pamu to lead the troop out to search for food and water. A nearby drying pond is a beacon for drought-weary wildlife. This scavenging land monitor, on the hunt for grubs hiding in the mud, uses its tongue to smell the air. Hundreds of lotus plants cling to life here. This aquatic species usually grows in water, but during the drought, it survives by drawing moisture from the mud into its roots. This adaptation means many of the leaves are still juicy and green. Just what a hungry and thirsty monkey needs. But once again, the Tufts are beaten to the punch. The king troop has taken over the pond. Laden with moisture, the roots of the lotus plant are a thirst-quenching meal. Powerful jaws and long canines slice through the tubers with ease. It takes effort to dig them up, and macaques don't like to share. A whole root will keep this youngster hydrated for a few days. In these times of desperation, it's every monkey for itself. No one standing guard this time. The Tufts sneak in. And this time, extra lunch guests are ignored. It helps that they eat what the macaques can't stomach. Instead of digging for roots, Pamu targets the juicy stems and large leaves of the lotus. Pip and Nisha also tuck in. The purple-faced troop has also gone out on a limb to satisfy their thirst. Their search for fresh leaves has brought them to a small village, where a large water tank on the ground catches their attention. The concrete oasis is tantalizing, but reaching it would mean coming down from the trees. Not something this troop ever does. But thirst drives this male to take a huge risk. Down here, he's on edge. He quickly works out how to use his long tree-climbing fingers as a scoop. The rest of the troop is still nervous. Heading to the ground goes against all their instincts. But a brave female also takes a chance. She copies her comrade's technique. But before the others pluck up the courage to join in, the intrepid duo lose their nerve and hurry back to their treetop world. Mid-August, and the drought is at its peak. Temperatures hit 100 degrees, and the residents around the ancient city try to keep cool. The king troop spreads out in the shadiest parts of the forest. Hot and weary, there's not a lot of feistiness in their mood today. The Tufts also try to keep cool. Their light-coloured, thick hair works in their favour, insulating them from the heat and acting as a shield against the sun. They even have a built-in visor to shade their eyes. In this heat, none of the Tufts have any get up and go. Except little Pip, who's bursting with energy, as usual. Against the odds, the newest Tuft baby is still alive. Mum's doing her best to keep him hydrated and cool. But the extreme heat is not the greatest threat to his young life. The bachelors are back. Pamu gives them his fiercest stare. But this time, they fail to retreat. Instead, the bachelors advance on the troop. They're mounting an attack. Pamu has two choices: flee or fight. It's 3 against 1, but Pamu launches into battle. The Tufts panic. Nisha makes a run for it with Pip. Other mums are also desperate to get their babies away. In the chaos, the youngest baby Tuft becomes separated from his mother. But an older sister comes to his rescue. With the bachelors on the rampage, her instinct is to get him to safety. Away from the fight, she stops. He's safe, but it might be too late. His leg has been badly bitten. Alive but weak, all she can do is cradle him and hope their mother finds them. The fight is still going. But with one final desperate charge, Pamu forces the bachelors out. It's over. The shaken Tufts regroup. Nisha's managed to keep Pip safe during the onslaught. The injured baby is finally back with his mother. He's still breathing, but only just. He won't make it to morning. It's a tragic moment for this mother, but for the Tufts, it could have been a lot worse. If Pamu had been defeated, all of the younger babies would have been killed. The drought drags on. An uneasy calm descends on the ancient city. All the monkeys can do is wait for the rain. The purple-faced troop returns. Their forest trees are still dry, but a drop in temperature and the darkening sky signal change is on the way. An early monsoon storm is brewing. The rains are finally here. In the space of just a few hours, over 2 inches of rain soaks the parched ground. The Tufts' temple home floods. Pamu leads his troop into a tree to wait out the storm. Their versatile thick hair now acts like a protective jacket, keeping them warm and dry. Pip's never felt rain before and can't contain his excitement. But Mum's not much of a water enthusiast. The Tufts leave that to their neighbours. The macaques are excellent swimmers. They can even dive and hold their breath. But these water lovers aren't content to just paddle. The youngsters devise a poolside game. A tree doubles as a diving platform. Months of heat and dust wash away. The drought is finally over. The rains keep coming, and by early October, the region is once again green. The ancient city is flush with fresh growth. Replenished waterholes are bursting with life. The now submersed lotus plants transform the pond into a colourful oasis. The fruit-loving macaques are now spoilt for choice in the fully restocked forest larder. There are more figs than they could ever stuff into their cheek pouches. High in the treetops, the shy purple-faced troop tuck into juicy fresh leaves. There's no need to go anywhere near the ground. Below them, relaxing on their favourite temple wall, the Tufts enjoy their own forest treat. Pamu's led the troop to a mango tree, and there's not a macaque in sight. Pip's now 4 months old, and he survived one of the toughest seasons the troop has ever known. His dad, Pamu, has fought off invaders and ensured the safety of the family. Life in the ancient city is once again calm and peaceful. And the Tufts get back to doing what they do best.